I don't think I've ever seen anyone talk about this yet. I want to share my experience with aging. I'm 37 now. I'm going to be 38 in a week. And in the last year or so, I've really struggled with my appearance. And it's not so much of like a shallow thing, not wanting to look old. I know I'm not old yet, but if you're 20 something, you're like, oh, you are old. If you're 60, I'm not old, It's all relative. But it's not even that I'm like upset about a wrinkle or a blemish or a pigmentation. It's this just really weird phenomenon that happens where you don't recognize yourself and you're trying to look like you always have, and not in an age way, but just in a recognizing yourself. And so I'll do my eyebrows and I'm like, well, that didn't do it. Okay, maybe I just need more concealer. And then that doesn't do it. And then you realize you've lost volume in your face. And I now have these like really deep, they're just hollow, right? My thin is more skin. Just all these things have changed that makeup can't change. I guess plastic surgery or like augmentation injections can maybe fix, but it's just odd to seek yourself in the mirror or on camera and not be able to find it, and having to become okay with this new person. And I don't know. I think women will understand. Like, what you would look like with mascara versus not. You know what you look like with a face of makeup versus not. It's kind of the same way. Like, I swear, it's just like one day you're like, oh, I look like this. And then you wake up and you're like, oh, I don't look like that. I look older and more tired. Let me do what I'm used to doing. The normal mascara, the normal eyeliner, whatever it is. And then that doesn't work and you're faced with aging. It's just it's okay, but it's definitely a trip.
This is what happens when they hit the wall. It becomes so bad, they can't recognize their own face any longer. Everything changes, and they reach a stage that even makeup can't fix. So remember this one, guys. Don't worry if they are entitled today, because they will hit the wall tomorrow.
Can't argue with cold hard facts.
I swear I do not understand dating anymore. These are the dozen of red roses that my date I went out with the other night for the second time picked me up and brought me. He proceeded to talk about all of our future dates, making plans with me. He invited me on a ski trip to Mammoth this weekend. It was a little bit love bombing behavior, so I was like pretty quiet and like not really engaging with it, but not necessarily like shutting it down or saying I'm not interested. We went out to dinner, we went out to ice cream, great chat, great time. He drives me home, and in the car he asks me if he can kiss me goodnight, and I say, oh no, like I'm just gonna like give you a hug, which I think is appropriate behavior for a second date when you don't know someone that well. And the boy ghosts me. I have not heard from him since the date, and so these roses now mock me in my apartment. They are very pretty, but what the hell?
This guy sounded like the ultimate simp. Who remembers the days when women wanted to get flowers on the first date because they thought it was cute, and now they don't like them any longer? She mocked him by rejecting him after he put in all of that effort. So I'm glad he saved his loss of dignity by ghosting afterwards. Needless to say, make sure you don't ever simp, guys.
I never have, perhaps I never will.
As you can see, I am not a man, but I'm going to tell you a theory I have about men. They love once in their life and then never again. As long as they live, they will never get over that first time that they fell in love and got hurt. Are they capable of falling in love with someone else? Yes, but they're not the same. That first love chipped away all of the good parts of them. Women are not like this. We're like, I am ready to be hurt again. It's like we have amnesia when we meet someone we really like again, which is both a good and a bad thing. We can give each new person a clean slate as long as we've, gone through the mourning period and healed from that past love. Men don't really go through a mourning period. They just bury it down or try to fuck it out of their system, neither of which work very well. So if you fall in love with a man who has been in love before, you get a broken man. He's guarded, he's resistant, he gets triggered easily. I think after they get hurt once, they feel so duped. Men are so resistant to vulnerability, so they go into relationships kicking and screaming as it is. And then them getting hurt is their confirmation bias that they never should have done it in the first place. They're like, nope, never again. There's really no solution to this. Men, please get more therapy. But I don't even know if that's enough.
I'm not sure I agree with her when she says men are not able to love again. In my personal experience, when I realise the next woman is better than the first, I can slowly recognise the better option and begin to trust more. I try not to allow my past negative experiences to dictate my future outlooks on life. I simply learn and adapt from them. I do agree that men and women handle breakups differently, however.
We are much stronger.